Hey, this is Corey Miller, baseball, and you're watching This Week at Pepperdine.
A number of teams will hit the road at various points this week, with the women's soccer team holding down the fort in the Wave's non-conference finale this Friday. We'll preview what's ahead and look back at last week's best moments, including the women's golf team's season-opening victory. All this and more on the newest edition of This Week at Pepperdine. Let's look back at last week's top performers in our 3 Stars segment. Luke Hugo scored 3 goals for the men's water polo team in an 8-6 victory over UC Irvine in the opening game of the NorCal tournament. He scored a team-high 7 goals over the Wave's 4 games, though Pepperdine had to settle for an 8th place finish.
The first 2 games, the first one against UCI and the second one against USC, we had a pretty good defense. We capped USC on 9 goals, which is pretty good. They were ranked number 1 before this tournament.
This week, the Waves will have a non-conference contest at UCLA on Friday.
This Friday against UCLA, our defense will be really important. They won the NorCal tournament this weekend, so it's going to be a big opportunity for us to move up on the rankings.
Allie Holtz had the best game of her career on Sunday, scoring 2 goals and adding an assist as the women's soccer team dominated Fresno State and won by the score of 3-1. Pepperdine closes out non-conference play this Friday with a 3 p.m. match at Terry From Rokas Field against Cal State Fullerton.
We just tried to work on our offensive mindset and get forward, which showed in our game today, which was really good. So we're just going to continue that offensive play, possessing, organizing our defense, and just having a positive attitude for the next games to come.
Marissa Chow led the women's golf team to a first-place team finish at the season-opening Dick McGuire Invitational in New Mexico over the weekend. The Waves finished 12 strokes ahead of runner-up Oregon, and their total of 11 under was the 5th best team score in program history. Chow finished in 2nd place individually. Immediately after the trophy ceremony, the Waves headed to Colorado for their next event. The Waves are looking to repeat as champions at the Golf Week Conference Challenge, which began today and runs through Wednesday. Now it's time to look at the top plays from the volleyball and soccer games played on campus last week. We start with women's volleyball on Saturday. Set 3, Waves trailed by as many as 7 points before making a furious comeback, which ended up in a 26-24 victory. Couple of great goals on Sunday, both by Allie Holtz. The first coming on a beautiful pass from Lynn Williams. Holtz crashing the net and puts it in. Second one, Holtz just doing work. A beautiful strike to the upper left-hand corner of the net. Her second goal of the game. After a pair of tough home losses that opened the West Coast Conference schedule, the women's volleyball team heads to the Pacific Northwest this weekend for matches at Portland and Gonzaga. The Waves will be looking to bounce back and get back to 500 in conference. 2 weeks after their own Pepperdine Invitational, the cross-country teams will be back at it at the Stanford Invitational on Saturday.
Well, this will be our 3rd out of 6 races this season, so the team is just incredible. The vibes are really strong. Everybody just knows it's there. We all feel it, and we all love it. I think this one will just be the same repeat, hopefully, of what we've had so far, hopefully improving each time, getting faster, and preparing for WCCs.
There are 2 fall tournaments coming up for the women's tennis team. Some of the Waves will take part in the San Diego State Fall Classic beginning on Friday, while others will be in action at the nearby Riviera ITA All-American Championship, which begins on Saturday. The men's golf team isn't in action again for another few weeks, following their first tournament of the season up in Washington. Senior Jeremy Sanders led Pepperdine, tying for 20th place. Thanks for joining us on This Week at Pepperdine. We'll see you next week.